Welcome to the PharmaSource podcast.
Today I'm joined by Dr. Michael Birnbach, CEO and President of CordenPharma, one of the leading CDMOs specialising in complex modalities. So last year at CPHI, we spoke with the Corden team about their ambitious €900 million expansion to meet demand for GLP-1 medications. Today we're back at CPHI to talk with Michael about where he sees the market heading, what's next beyond GLP-1s, and how CordenPharma is preparing itself for future challenges. So Michael, thank you for joining me. Let's start with you then. So you joined CordenPharma back in 2014 and became CEO in 2019. What were your priorities when you started, and how has that evolved?
It has been a very exciting, interesting journey the last 11 years. And I think if I look back when I joined in 2014, at that time we were trying to figure out what is actually our strategy going to be. We had acquired all these assets, we had great assets. Then we had to take a decision, which are the areas you want to play in, so how are we going to develop this business? And it took us some time to figure this out, we get in traction in the market. But I think then over the time we got excellent traction, and we had excellent support also from the previous shareholder, from the current shareholder. And here we are today. So when I joined, the company was around 1,000 people, 245 million sales. Now we are close to 1 billion, 3,000. So I think we had quite a good journey.
Quite a good journey is probably a bit modest. That's very impressive. So you started as a scientist in pure chemistry research and then moved into business. How did that happen? Was that fall into it by accident, or was it intentional?
Sure, yeah. So actually I started my career, you're right, as a pure scientist in the US in 2000. But I started also in the CDMO space at that time as a scientist at a company called MRI, it's a big courier. And then from there on I moved into various other companies and positions. And I think I've always been on the CDMO side, from a scientist, project manager, sales manager, product manager. So I've seen a lot, and I think I would say I have a decent, good understanding of the business, and I also have, when you interact with customers, having a scientific background, quickly relating to the challenges some of the customers have, but also what they expect from us to accomplish, and also we have a bit feeling what is realistic to be accomplished. So that's, but it was a bit, I think I realized after many years in the lab, I want to move more into more interaction with the customers directly, and enjoy this more than just only doing science. So, and I had a company at that time who gave me the opportunity then to move into sales. It's not so easy to find somebody.
You announced a €900 million expansion in peptide manufacturing capacity about a year and a half ago to accommodate the surge in GLP-1s. Tell me a bit about that then. How far have you come since then?
No, since then, we made good progress. Obviously, these are multi-year investments. Also, there are some parts of the investments are smaller projects, and we made good progress. I think we're going to be ready by mid-27 with some parts of it. The other one going to take a bit longer, 28, 29. But overall, we're making good progress. Obviously, there are some challenges when you make these big projects, but I think we have an excellent team, very experienced, and so good progress. We're on track.
So what are those challenges you mentioned?
Yeah, look, the challenges are really you need to have good engineers, good coordination, you need to hire a lot of good people. That's some of the challenges we simply have, and there's some obviously scope changes, and we might have challenges on equipment supply. Maybe somebody promised to deliver a certain type of equipment, and there's some delays on the equipment supplier side. These are the things we are dealing on a day-to-day basis.
What are your customers telling you about demand right now? Where do you think the market is headed?
Peptides or?
In GLP-1 specifically.
Yeah, so at the moment on the peptide GLP-1 side, we still see increasing demand. Also, there's probably not enough capacity out there, and particular capacity in the US.
Are you continuing to invest in that space to meet that capacity?
Yeah, so we're doing this, but we're also looking for other opportunities to further expand capacity. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, interesting. And so then, with the peptide space getting a bit more competitive, kind of meeting the capacity needs, with more CDMOs expanding their capabilities, what makes a customer choose CordenPharma?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's look, at the end, it's all about the experience, the people, the knowledge, how to really develop commercial manufacturing processes at large scale. I think you probably could argue that on small scale, a lot of companies can put a peptide together, let's put it this way, but really making on the scale we are doing it, it's completely different. It's a very, you need to have a lot of knowledge, a lot of engineering know-how, but you also need to have the whole infrastructure actually to handle this type of large amount of solvents, complexity there. So that's not as straightforward on the scale we are doing it today.
And so you mentioned sites in the US. So are you based just in Germany and the US? What's your geographic footprint like?
No, at the moment we have 11 sites. So?
11 sites in total?
But we have 2 sites which solely focusing on, or 3 sites, but 2 sites which only focusing on peptides in Colorado, Frankfurt. Then we have our Swiss site outside Basel, which also is starting doing again peptides. But then the other sites are doing other technologies.
What drives those decisions to where you locate yourself?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously Colorado was always our peptide site when we had acquired the site, and there was knowledge and we kept expanding. The Frankfurt site actually goes back to 2014 when we had acquired the small companies and we located it to Frankfurt and we further expanded there. And then we had the other site in Switzerland, which always was involved in peptide manufacture. But at the end, to answer the question, what really drives the decision, it is also knowledge, access to people. You have very skilled labor, operators at the end, scientists. That's a major decision, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving beyond that, talking about modalities, beyond peptides and GLPs, just kind of across the whole landscape, what's exciting you right now? What modalities or technology platforms are you watching closely as a business?
We continue to watch closely high-potent oncology. Obviously oncology.
So ADCs?
Yeah, we are not so active in ADC. So CordenPharma is not active, but we are manufacturing some of the most advanced, innovative bladder cancer medication. We just recently, our customer got approval for this type of very innovative treatment. We actually have been working on this product for nearly 8 years. So we started with this company 8 years ago. It was a biotech. It was acquired by big pharma, but then we really helped to commercialize the product. So very exciting. And we have a number of other very exciting examples where we developed new breast cancer medication together with the customer. So this is really exciting. But then also, of course, there are many other exciting parts of the gene therapy, where we're making those lipids, really very innovative products which we can help our customers to bring to the market. So I think that's very exciting as well for the whole team. So really broad, you see very broad areas where we're working on, and I think this excites also our people actually to work around this, helping to bring these new medicines to the market.
Absolutely. What drives those decisions then? Is it really working with your customers from the start with that development? You mentioned those kind of parts.
So we had a lot of, so when we started this journey also actually in 2014 and we looked at it, where are the areas we want to play in? So we defined these 5-6 platforms, and then we always look what is required to be successful. And this always comes down to you need to have excellent development capabilities, capacities available to support the customer from early stage all the way to commercialization. Yeah? And then we put these assets and the knowledge into these areas and really clearly had a clear strategy which we executed.
What do those partnerships look like day to day, working with your customers to continue to kind of innovate?
Yeah, look, we were also, it's a good question. We are always also open for new technologies, or if the customer has new ideas, we'll be happy to install and bring these things into our facility. We might install some new equipment for a customer, very specific. So we were trying to be very open-minded and really building this type of partnership together.
If you had to make another 900 million euro investment today, right now, where would you place it?
Yeah, so where it would go, I think still very exciting part of also other businesses, the injectable business. So there's a lot I think we could do and we would build out. But we also would still do small molecules. Are still here, are still there. And we probably still could further expand on this part. But what we would be doing way more now, we also having some initiative is, and that doesn't sound so exciting, but it's extremely important on further optimizing our plants, investing in all alkaline batch records, and there's a lot of things we can do on the IT side, but later also on the AI side. Yeah? So we're just getting our feet into the overall AI side, and I think we can really be way more efficient and moving forward as a CDMO partner.
Yeah. Here at CPHI, there's a lot of talk about AI and where it can actually create real benefits and efficiency and cost reductions. Where do you see that?
Look, we have some. It's a good question, actually. So sometimes we have really long, very complex batch records. Can be 3,000 pages. If you make a peptide, it's really complex. So how we also later analyze all the data. I mean, in the past, somebody puts this all in by hand, but you just scan it and get it analyzed. There's a lot of things we can do, but then also overall streamlining our processes. As a company is growing, an organization, more and more, the quality side, we have SOPs, more SOPs, but there's definitely ways, again, to trim it down, how to trim it down, and there's a lot of ways we can make it way more efficient. And then also, look, some things that simply, you got to report 100 pages, help me to analyze what's in there. It's amazing what you can do today, Harry.
Yeah, it really is. So let's move into talking about your employees. You're managing 3,000 people, as you mentioned, across six countries. How do you keep everyone aligned?
It's all about communication at the end, yeah? So it's really how we get people aligned on that everyone understands what is really what we want to accomplish, what are the priorities, and also what are the challenges. And what we do is we have global town hall meetings where everyone can dial in. We do a lot of internal communications. There's intranet where we frequently communicate, obviously. But then we also, what we do with my leadership team, we visit every quarter, nearly every site. We meet the site leadership team. So there's a lot of traveling necessary, but I think it's extremely important to be connected to the people, not only sitting in the Bali office, but also really getting the connection, visiting the site, walking around the site. I feel that's what people appreciate, being case and having an understanding for the day-to-day problems, obviously, yeah.
Looking ahead, what do you want CordenPharma to be known for in, say, 2030?
Good question. So by 2030, really absolutely known for our super reliable services, manufacturing, bringing most innovative medicines to the market, helping our customers, but really being top-notch for what we do. And that's what we want to be recognized for.
Okay, finally then, what's happening in pharma manufacturing right now? You think that might not be getting enough attention?
Our customers really see the value actually a top-notch CDMO can deliver. Yeah, so if we don't deliver, they cannot launch their medicines, and patients don't get their medicines. So I think we get enough attention. I'm not too concerned.
Yeah, CDMO seems to be kind of growing in importance.
Absolutely, yes. I think today this is absolutely part of the overall pharma supply chain key cornerstone.
So what do you think kind of successful partnerships will look like going forward?
At the end, it's about working together on the day-to-day challenges, which are also coming up in this partnership. Yeah? So that's really, and all the medicines we are manufacturing today are very complex, not easy. I mean, complexity has increased over the years. When I remember, I was a scientist in the lab, it was very different, obviously 25 years ago. But and I think partnership is also acknowledging that the CDMO might have certain competence, and this is why they're coming to us, listening. We think we should be executing, and not only they're telling us, but we are really working together on these topics. So that's a big partnership.
Great. Well, Michael, thanks a lot for talking to me today. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy